Debra McCall here, holistic therapist with Jenny. So last week, Jenny came in with a tight jaw, achy neck, achy shoulders, and it's no wonder. These days, so many people come in with tight jaws. What happens when the body's under stress or resisting emotions is it goes into a clench, and oftentimes it ends up in the jaw. And a little anatomy here, when you have a tight jaw, that tightness can travel up the temporalis muscle to the head and trigger a headache. It also can travel down to the shoulders or the hips and create aches there. If you have a mouth guard, it's likely that you have a tight jaw, and it's wonderful that the mouth guard protects the teeth. However, it does nothing to relieve the underlying tension of the jaw. So last week you came in with a few of these symptoms, along with some sinus drainage from allergies. Would you like to share some of your experience?
Sure. Yeah, so I had struggled for several days with a headache and then just tightness and pain through my jaw, my neck, and my shoulders. And even though I was breathing okay, I could tell that I had congestion and pressure in my sinuses across my face and my head. And when you were performing craniosacral work on me, it actually felt like sludge rolling across my face. Yeah, so I had struggled with jaw clenching for quite some time. I'd actually gotten Botox at the dentist, hoping to help that, but did not get the relief that I was looking for. But when you released the first side of my jaw, I felt immediate relief. And then after the second side, I had more space through my jaw and through the muscles around my ears and down my neck and into my shoulders.
Lovely. So that's typically how I work, as I layer several techniques, and some of the ones that Jenny mentioned, I layered in with some of the techniques I'm going to show you today, later on in this video. So the other thing I do when somebody comes in is after the session, I give them homework. For those people that want to deepen their healing and also extend the good results, I give homework. And with the jaw that's tight, I give the homework of asking them to reflect in a time that they're not busy, say in meditation, in the middle of the night. They might have a notepad by their bed, they roll over and they ask themselves when they're in that liminal space, what am I resisting with my clenched jaw? And just writing 1 or 2 word answers of what your body tells you. If you're not used to inquiring of your body, it might take a few times, so be patient. When the body knows that you're really listening, it will show up for you. And continue that inquiry process with your body. So Jenny, you did the homework, and do you want to share some of your experience with that?
Sure, it was really interesting actually. I realized I was unconsciously sabotaging a current project I was working on because of the connection it held to past grief and loss. And once I made that connection and I was able to see what was happening, I was able to hold more empathy and self-compassion so that I could actually move forward with the current project.
That's great.
Yeah.
So when people do their homework, they get good results, and this was quite amazing. So today, what we would like to do is, with Jenny's help, I'm going to demonstrate a few techniques that I also layered into her therapy, so that you can do these at home and enjoy a little bit more of a relaxed jaw. So the first technique is just jaw awareness. Sometimes people have had tight jaws so long they don't even know that they're holding that clench. So one way that you can discover what your jaw feels like is you can put the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth right behind your front teeth. And what that does is it opens the lips and it slightly opens the teeth. Now it's very important anytime you do any of these exercises to breathe. So these days people are either breathing shallowly in their upper part of their chest, a fight or flight breath, or they're holding their breath all together if they're in pain. So the first thing you do is just take take a deep breath into your belly, put your feet on the floor, and let your body have that pause moment. And then put your tongue on the roof of your mouth behind the tip of your teeth and notice how that feels. It will feel differently if you're breathing. So throughout the day, just check in with yourself if you're a jaw clencher and ask yourself, am I clenching? And take a moment to breathe and do this technique and allow your jaw a little rest. So the second technique that we're going to show today is also a manual technique, and it involves placing your thumbs right under your cheekbones on that masseter muscle, which is your jaw muscle, and then you press in and slightly up, while at the same time you take some fingers, 2 fingers, and place them on your chin. Now, without actively opening your jaw, press on your chin to passively open that jaw. And that's at the same time that you're pressing in and up on that masseter muscle right beneath the jawbone. And how does that feel for you, Jenny?
It's pretty tender.
Yeah. So if you're a clencher, you will feel some tenderness. And this process isn't in the category of no pain, no gain. It's being gentle with yourself, with the breath. Yes, you want to feel some resistance, a little tenderness, but go at a slow pace. Your body will be more than grateful for that. And this is something that you can repeat several times to work your jaw in that direction. So in closing, put that pad next to your bed. Ask your body in the middle of the night when you roll over, what am I resisting? And that's it. You have 2 practical tips and 1 reflective tool to help you move towards a more relaxed jaw. So until next time, give yourself some jaw love.